guys are awesome. Let's keep that energy up for your first comedian of the evening. Let's hear it for Sean D.
How we doing in Indianapolis? As he said, my name's Sean D. I'm from Kokomo, Indiana. And I think I'm finally starting to come to terms with the fact that I look like a masculine lesbian. My whole life I've dated women that were bisexual, and I was like, oh, that's a coincidence. No, dummy, it's because you look like you lettered in softball, choir, and finger banging. A lot of people, I know a lot of you look at me and you're like, man, it's gotta suck to be fat. And it's got its downs, but it's also got its cool parts. Like, yeah, I might die at an early age of diabetes, but if I get an attractive girl to have sex with me, she typically does all the work. And it's not because I'm lazy, I'm just taking mental pictures, because that shit don't happen that often. I think it's the whole fat guys have small dicks myth. And I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. I got a medium dick. Like if my dick was on Uber, it would get 3 stars. It can take you where you need to go, but you're not going to be super impressed when I show up in a Chevy Cobalt. It's not an Escalade, but it's not a smart car either. So I turned 37 this year. I know I don't look that young, but I'm 37 years old. And I want to, I thought it's time. It's time to get healthier, lose some of the lbs. And everybody's giving me advice on what to do. My favorite one, though, is this guy that works at the gas station by my house. He's one of these people that runs marathons. Have you met these people? He's always like, you lose so much weight from running, and after you do it for a while, you'll hit what's called the runner's high. It's so amazing. It's like the best thing ever. And I'm like, yeah, I heard the high from crystal meth is pretty amazing too. I'm not going to do that either. So guys, Steve Kerr has 9 NBA championships now. 5 as a player and 4 as a coach. I think that makes him a legend, don't you?
Sir.
Yeah. I also think he's a comedic and political legend as well, because he named his son Nick. Yeah, that's right. There's a white, y'all think you're so woke, but there's a white guy walking around the planet right now called Nick Kerr. And we made him go by Nicholas yet. Why is he not a better player? I'm a millennial, so like most of my generation, I grew up listening to hip hop and R&B. I'm a huge R. Kelly fan, not his music. No, that's a joke, but I caught the documentary, Surviving R. Kelly. I got a few problems with that, and we're going to talk about that if you don't mind, okay? One, through the whole thing, he's just talking about how much he loves his kids. And I'm like, that's not the problem, Robert. The problem is how much you love other people's kids. And then through the whole thing, he's just talking about how he doesn't have any bail money. And I'm like, what'd you do, Robert? Piss it all away? Now, I'm not saying I condone what he did by any means, but I'll probably still listen to his music. Because, hell, people still go to Catholic church, right? All right, guys, I'm going to do one more for you tonight. You having a good time so far?
Yeah.
So, my grandma hates my generation. And she's on her way out, so I had to go visit her in the hospital recently. And every time I visit her, it's all about how much my generation sucks. She starts out with like, oh my God, you millennials, all you are so lazy. Most of you live at home. And I'm like, yeah, Grandma, down payment for a house isn't $45 anymore. And then she's talking about, then she starts talking about how we're all so entitled, And I'm like, Grandma, my generation's entitled. We're not the generation that had a problem sharing our buses, bathrooms, and schools. And that's when she knows I'm winning the argument. So she brings out her big guns. And she's like, yeah, but your generation is so dependent on technology. And I'm like, oh yeah? So I unplugged her. And y'all might think that's a big move, but I am a millennial. I'm trying to move out of my mom's basement and get the new iPhone. Guys, my name's Sean D. You can check me out at Sean D. It's funny on YouTube. Have a great night.